Hello, and welcome to the Iron Spoon Kitchen. In 1876, a pharmacist convinced Americans that root beer was a health drink. He gave free samples at the America's Centennial Celebration in 1876, and he went on to build a 140-year empire on root beer. But then it faded away. But today, I'm bringing it back, and so we're going to have some homemade root beer. So join me in just a couple of seconds as we begin this wonderful investigation into the past of root beer. Hey, here we go with the simplest version of the root beer. And we're going to start off with this Italian sparkling water, 2.5 cups of sugar, and then 2 teaspoons of the extract, which of course is in the larder. So let me get that. I'm still never getting used to that. There you go. Got it. And so we have our root beer syrup. Well, knocked over a few things. And so we're going to start off with, well, let's take the sugar. I'm going to pour that in here. In fact, why don't you come a little bit closer so you can see what I'm doing. Now this is a good step. We're going to make a little syrup here first, or a concentrate. Now this is our syrup, obviously. I'm going to put 2 teaspoons, and I'm just making a quart here. But we're going to make this, don't worry if a little extra goes in, that's okay. We're going to make this into a concentrate so that the carbonated water that I'm going to use doesn't quite go away as quickly, because I don't have to stir it as much using this about a 1/2 cup of very warm water, not boiling. I've stirred that enough to get the sugar dissolved. And now I'm just going to add my carbonated water to it. And this is just a sparkling water. And I'm going to carefully pour it in there to retain as much of the bubbles as possible. And this is 1 quart. You can see it's foaming up there nicely. Look at that. And there's your root beer. That's it. I'll give it one more stir. Just to make sure that sugar got done. Now let's pour a little bit. Whoops. Let's pour a little bit in here and see how it tastes. Tastes like root beer. That was excellent. And that root beer came from, I got it off of Amazon. And I think at one time was probably made by Hires. It's just called like Big H now is what it's called. And wherever I put that, I don't know. Oh, here it is. Yeah, it's called the Big H since 1959. So that has to do with another company that I think is out of Utah that made a famous root beer also. So that's the simple one. And that's all you need to do. Get yourself some sparkling water, mix it with the sugar, make a concentrate first, and then add the water to it, and there you go. And of course, chill it also. But there you go. That is the simplest way to make the homemade root beer. Now we're going to make it the way it was done in 1876 by Mr. Hires in order to get the carbonation. And we have our dry ice right here. Now one thing I'll tell you, if you use the dry ice, you have to be very careful with the way you touch it. In fact, you don't touch it except unless you had gloves on, or if you have some tongs or something like that. which is what I've used as well. But it's very simple to do. But one thing about the dry ice is that it sublimates. So I'm going to tell you what that means. It goes from the solid to vapor. There's no in between, there's no liquid stage like with water. So with water, obviously, you can go from solid to liquid to vapor as it evaporates. But with carbon dioxide, or frozen carbon dioxide, which is what dry ice is, it simply goes from solid to air. And that term is called sublimates. So we have in here, I have my water. And let's see, I have 1 quart of water. No. 3 quarts of water. And now I'm going to put in 2.5 cups of sugar. Let's get that stirred around. Come over here a little closer and you'll see what I'm doing. And we have our sugar in here. And I'm going to stir this until it is all dissolved. So I'll be back in just a few minutes. Okay, that sugar has dissolved. Now I'm going to add in our extract. And that's 2 tablespoons. And now that's mixed together. Now I'm going to add my dry ice. I have about 3/4 of a pound here because that's what was recommended from the recipe. Let me get my glove here just in case I need it. How about that? That is something else. And this would have been the way that Mr. Hires presented it. And he gave out free samples at the Centennial. So let me tell you a little bit more about what he did in 1876. Here's a picture here of the Centennial Exposition in 1876 in Philadelphia. And Mr. Hires gave away small glasses of root beer and sold a powder form of the ingredients for 25 cents with directions to dissolve it in water with sugar and yeast. And here's a picture of the Hires root beer package advertisement for 25 cents. And you can see it says it's made from pipsissewa, sarsaparilla, dandelion, and other medical roots. And it makes some incredible claims, as most pseudo-health drinks did at that time. In fact, it says promising to change any morbid action of the stomach, liver, and kidneys, and kept them in healthy condition, promoting strength and vigor. Here's a picture of Mr. Hires, Charles Hires, and he lived from 1851 to 1937. And he learned about the root beer from a root tea that he had heard about actually on his honeymoon. And this intrigued him, and as a pharmacist at that time, he started to experiment with the idea of making a health drink, which was very popular at the time. A friend eventually told him to market it as root beer and as an alternative to real beer. And here's another Hires health drink ad. Hires root beer, the great health drink. Safe, sure, and reliable. Obviously taking a marketing page from the railroad advertisements of the time. And here's a great picture of his lab and factory. And it was built to meet the demand for the bottled root beer. And he added to the factory back in 1896 and in 1904. And here's an interesting fact. By 1906, the Pure Food and Drug Act was passed. Here's a headline from 1911 telling how the law is still being violated. That 1906 law related to ingredients only, but didn't regulate the therapeutic claims. In 1912, the Shirley Amendment made sure foods, drinks, and medicines couldn't make false claims of healing. And trading cards weren't just with sticks of gum. Hires had trading cards, and here's one from 1890. And you may look at that and say, well, what's so appealing about that? Well, you have to keep in mind that back then, pretty much everything was in black and white, and to have something in color was quite a treat. They would eventually go on to even do baseball cards. And here's a root beer box for homemade root beer from 1929. Front and the back, the front and the back. And I like the picture of the wife with the tray of the tall glasses of root beer, getting ready to serve her guests. Here's another Hires ad from the 1940s. Still very popular at that time. And here's one from the 1950s. And it says somewhere on there, I think it says sparkling tang of real roots, barks, and herbs. However, in 1960, the family sold 90% of their shares to Consolidated Food Corporation for $19 a share. And here's a picture of the part of the headline from that. And at that time, that was going to be the popularity of the Hires root beer started to slowly fade away. By the 1990s, another company, Cadbury Schweppes, had bought the brand and phased it out and prioritized their own A&W brand. By 2008, it was largely discontinued in bottles and in canned forms. But because of America's 250th birthday, you get to see it right in front of you at this time. So let's take a look at how things are going with our root beer. Okay, we still got a ways to go. So it takes about 45 minutes for this carbonation to get into all the water. Well, that didn't take near as long as I thought. I thought it was going to take like 45 minutes, but it only took about 10 or 15 minutes for that to sublimate. So I've got myself a glass here. Let me just top it off here a little bit. There's still a little bit of the dry ice in there, so don't want to serve that to anybody. Oh, excellent. This is a good brand, the Big H. And I'm a connoisseur of root beer. And this is the first time I've ever made it at home. And so this is definitely a success. Well, I hope that you enjoyed this second episode as I count down to July 4th and our 250th birthday for our country. And this would be an excellent activity to do for your family. And although the other way, using the carbonated water, is simpler, but if you want to show off to everything, that dry ice one is there. And that's probably why Mr. Hires did that, because he knew that the dry ice and everything would get a crowd around to see that, because it's quite the spectacle, as you well know. Well, I hope that you liked this episode, especially if you made it this far. You probably did. So please hit that like button. And if you're so inclined, go ahead and subscribe. Well, I hope that you enjoyed the root beer episode of the Iron Spoon Kitchen.